And we are live. Hi, everybody. Are you gonna talk?
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I was reading some of the messages that were on the
Like,
screen,
are
so
you
I
gonna
kind of
talk?
got distracted there. I'm good. Hi, everybody. Happy
I love how I say we're
Sunday.
going live and he doesn't talk. It's just silence.
Because I'm so used to him always talking.
Yeah, but I'm not feeling good, so
No, Nick isn't feeling well. So as you can see, we are both sitting this evening. We decided, you know what? This is just going to be a regular conversation. There's no guest this evening. We are just going to chat about how life throws you curveballs, right? And what you do with them and how you face them, because this is exactly what happened to us this weekend. So before we go into that, I don't know if we have any announcements that you wanted to talk about first, son.
yes.
Son.
So if you son,
I don't
yes.
know why Son came out, but yes, go for it, son.
So the first the
That's
first
wrong.
thing I know, quit saying it. So like you're making me freak out. So okay, so first thing is in Sudbury on October 11th at 6 p.m. we'll be doing dinner at Kuzima Dinner, or Kuzima Restaurant, the Kuzima. So if you are in Sudbury, Ontario, or in the area you want to have dinner with us, just let us know. We're just gonna show up because we couldn't reserve. So Jean-Luc and I are gonna show up at 5 p.m. Stand in line and try to get a spot for all who want to come to dinner with us. So you just please let us know if you are interested in how many people are actually interested in coming so that we can actually get the right number of people for the table.
And I want to just specify that this is not just for people who are like members of KickStarter or anything. It's anybody who lives in the Sudbury area who knows us. I have a lot of family, so if any family member want to come join us for dinner,
I invited
we're
everyone.
inviting everybody, so everybody is welcome. It's just easier to do it that way. Hopefully, they can handle a big table if it decides to be a big table.
We tried to reserve, they said
We
no. So
tried. We
yeah,
tried.
we had to cancel today's or yesterday's apple picking because again,
That was supposed to be
I
today,
yeah I
not
was
yesterday.
that was supposed to be today.
Yes, yesterday was I went to see the play with Tia.
Oh right, it was supposed to be today. See, my head's not. I'm not. I'm not all here still. So yeah, so we were supposed to do that. We had to cancel. We can't reschedule either because of all our weekends. But we had thought of something, maybe doing a Halloween, something maybe in the near future. So for those of you in the Toronto area, Charlotte and I have never gone through a haunted house. We've never done it. I'm afraid of horror movies. And it's hard to hear me people say. So let me see if I can change this. Keep going, hon.
It's funny because I can hear you very well, so I don't know if they're
Yeah,
saying it's because your voice is maybe
it could
nasalier than
be.
they're used to, but
This is what I sound like right now.
it's what he sounds like right now.
I'm sick.
Um, and so as Nick was saying, I'm not a Halloween horror. Don't, this
No,
is the
he
weird
loves.
part. I love scary movies. I could watch a scary movie with no issues. Do not put me in a scary house that's haunted, and not like a haunted place that people say, oh, there's ghosts that are here, blah, blah. That doesn't bug me even. It's the stupid ones that people jump out at you and try to scare you are the ones that I don't like. That's why I have an issue with it. But I'm willing to maybe try. I might.
Well, we said today in our live today, it's because at least as a group we can defend ourselves against the zombies. If there's 10 of us, I'd be safer than just the two of us.
Safer,
So
but safer in numbers, right? Well,
just
then
don't
I
bring Lynn. She'll push you in front.
yes, Lynn is every woman for herself. She pushes people with walkers out of the way. No, I'm just joking. Poor Lynn. We pick on her a lot, and she's like one of the nicest people we know. But Nisha was even sent us there was one where it's a walk in the forest. I'm like, okay, we're gonna go walk in the forest. People are gonna jump out at me, and I'm never gonna want to go to a rustic mama camping again. Like, so I don't know
Oh,
if that's a
come
good idea
on.
either.
You still watch horror movies and they've scared you?
Yeah, it's just different. So that's something that we're thinking about. We're not 100% sure if it's something that's going to be even possible of doing, but if we can, we will let people know. And again, we encourage you guys to find stuff like this. And I'm not saying go find a haunted house and go get your pants scared off of yourself. I'm saying go look for different activities in your area. A lot of us are right now, we have our 10 commitments, and I get that, but sometimes, adding this stuff to a commitment somehow, like finding a different activity that keeps you busy and out of the kitchen or out of, sitting on the couch and doing nothing all day. And
Yeah.
however, when you do feel like Nick's feeling at this present time, there's nothing wrong with sitting on the couch when you're not feeling well either, right? So finding
That's
that
why we're on the
balance
couch today. That's
and
our
not forcing yourself to do something when you're not feeling well either.
definitely. Other announcements on November 3rd, we'll be going to Farm Boy and lunch in Pickering. So if you want to join us for that, please sign up on the website. And on November 17th at 2 p.m., we'll be going to St. Jacob's, the Christmas Village, and we will be after having dinner there. So please RSVP for that on the website as well. We'll then be reaching out for more numbers and information as we get closer to the dates.
Ooh,
The other thing too that we wanted to share is the Epicure host parties.
yes.
Tomorrow is the last day to order to be able to eligible to win prizes. The Canadian one is pretty.
I'm gonna go find out right
There's a
now.
lot of orders in Canada, so the
Yeah.
person's going to win a pretty good prize. So what this is that we are running two mystery host parties. What happens is if you order Epicure products using our links, we will then enter you as the mystery host into the mystery host contest. Every $50, and we round up. So if you spend 30, you get a ballot. If you spend 50, 60, you get two. So we always round up to the nearest 100 or to the nearest 50. And so what we'll do is we will pick one person, one name, and that person will win all of the host prizes for either Canada or the US. So yes, I'll post the link again in chat. I was going to post it anyway, so here it is again. And this time it should work, I think, because I fixed it last time. So yeah, so this is of course just it's not mandatory. It's just if you like Epicure products, if you are looking to buy some and you want to join this contest, please do so. And as we always say, everything you guys do supports jeanlucandnick.com to keep everything free and accessible to everybody. So that's we thank you for helping us out in any way, and good luck to all of those of you who have purchased stuff. I've been seeing the orders come in. Some of them like, ooh, I want to get that on my
So
order.
this is exciting. This is actually really kind of cool. We've reached a new level. So there are the mystery host winner in Canada will have four products at 50% off, as well as $249. So $259 worth of free products, which is pretty awesome, which is a
249, 250.
249.75 to be
Okay.
exact. To be exact.
You said 259. That's fine.
Oh, I apologize. I thought no,
Yeah.
I don't remember saying that, but I might have. So yeah. So I apologize for misspeaking, but it's $249, which is so cool. So again, if you're still interested, the party closes tomorrow. So feel free to reach out if you have questions, if you want to know any information, anything like that. We'd be more than happy to answer those questions. The US party, I only have two orders, but that's okay. One of the two ladies is also going to win some prizes, which is fantastic. I have to find out that one. So I think it's one product, and there's $25 worth of free products. So hey, $25 is still better than absolutely nothing. So I would definitely take that as well. Someone said something about magic scoops.
Yeah, that's right. Magic Scoop is supposed to be really good.
Yes, yes, I know.
The
That's on
green.
my list. It's on my list. I heard if you put it in a smoothie, it's delicious. And if you have an issue eating your greens, because not everybody likes their veggies, it's a great way to get the nutrients from your vegetables and stuff like that in your body, and way more than just that. So
So now on to the week. So I would love to have people in chat share how their second weeks of commitments have gone. And you don't have to say if you got it perfect. That's not, I just, did you track every day? If all of you submitted your tracker every day on the website, or at least written it, or submitted it, taken a picture of it, that's all I care about. I don't care about how well you've done. I don't care if you got 8 out of 10. If you want to tell me, that's fine. If you want to say I got 100% this week, go ahead. I'm just saying all I care about is have you been able for the last 14 days, including today, completing your tracker? Are you going to submit? Have you submitted every single day? And that's what I want to see in chat, how you guys are doing with that. So I'm seeing some people's comments coming in. So Stacy said she tracked every day. So Angela said she's not well, was sick, and fell off track. And we'll talk about that today because that's exactly what I'm going through right now. So we'll talk about that tonight. Melanie, I tracked all week. That's awesome. Tracked all week, Nicole said. So forgot to submit a few days. I tracked. Remember that you can always
you,
submit back dates. So if you
yeah, you
did
can
your
go back and
tracker,
track again.
you can select the date that you've missed and submit them so that you get every single day.
And so remember, I think this is a really important. I think it was I'm trying to go back. It was Angela who said, "Oh, I was sick and I fell off track." If you track the fact that you fell off track, that means you didn't fall off track. Does that make sense?
Because I
If
have in my
if
book,
you Yeah, I wrote it in my book saying, you know what? I wasn't able to eat 3 meals a day. Because I wrote in my book that I did not eat my 3 meals a day does not mean I fell off track. It means I'm on track because I'm actually tracking it and I'm not ignoring the fact that I
remember,
did not complete it.
what did we tell you? We told you we don't care if you get all the check boxes. We just care that you do the tracker every day. That's all that matters because that's going to make you realize, and when it's making me realize, is that today I went for a 30-minute walk. I am not, the best right now. I can't exercise. My energy is, I'm zapped. I could barely go for a walk today. Like that was tiring for me today. And so I don't have completed cards. My tracker is not complete for the last, 4 or 5 days. I posted it today. Mine, I had blank spots everywhere. I didn't track everything down. Even today, I didn't track everything down yet. But you know what? I still wrote something down for each day.
Yep.
I still have my commitments tracked each day, and that's really the most important one because what it's done is I have taken my vitamins every day. My mom asked me today, "You're sick. Have you been taking your vitamins?" Like, yes, mom. It's on my list. It's a commitment. I've done it every day for 14 days, and it's still been saving me from this damn cold. So that's the way. So I'm actually keeping track of that. So even the days I'm missing the leg challenges, I'm tracking that I miss it. And I'm writing I am sick those days. So I remember why I miss those days. And it's
And,
important.
and by doing that, it's also keeping your commitments to the forefront of your mind so that way when you are feeling better, oh my God, I got to get back onto it. And it's not taking you as long to get back to feeling focused again. Instead of saying I'm off track, maybe saying I'm not as focused. Doesn't that make you feel better when you're saying I'm not as focused right now? When you're saying I'm off track, in my mind, it's saying very negative, very bad. And you're only saying maybe there are things that you actually have been doing, but because of the few things that might have been the harder ones that you haven't done, you're giving yourself a negative feeling because you feel like those are the only ones that were important that should have been accomplished, and that's not true. So keep that in mind when you are saying I'm off track. Make sure you keep that in mind that it's not being off track. There's going to be days that are going to be a lot easier to be focused on your commitments and days where you won't even have to think about it. It just automatically happens. But then there's days where it's going to be a little bit harder. And that's okay because those are the days you actually learn about yourself. Those are the days where you actually start going, wow, what can I do to maybe make this a little bit less, I don't want to even say daunting, but less scary for me, less hard for me, less challenging for me. Maybe today, that moment that that you when you go back to reread that one commitment that you struggled with and you weren't able to do, but maybe you'll go back and say, like Nick said, I can technically really still go for a walk. I could.
No, and that's what's happening with a lot of these commitments. And then there's a
Hmm.
reason why we're having you do this every day. And a lot of people said, I don't like the flipping back and forth. But you know what? Every day you're going back like this, right? I know I'm doing the same thing because I wrote them down and I don't remember them myself either.
Nope.
So I'll go back every day. I'm like, okay, number two, use shape of the okay, use shape up. How did most of us study in school? Or how is one of the best ways told for you to study in school? Write something
Repetition.
over and over again, repetition. And so the more you're reading this every day, even if you're not completing it every day because you're not doing well, like I'm not right now, and like Angela said she wasn't, and if any of you guys are not feeling well, we're not saying get perfect every day. We're just saying look at that commitment section and at least cross those out. You don't even have to write why. You don't have to say anything. Just cross that one section out. And in a few days, if a week goes by, like, I feel better now. I can go back to behind. You can then go back and say, okay, I remember that day I did this, I did that. If you want to go back, we don't have to. This is your book. We're not asking you at the end of this to submit this for an evaluation. We're not going to be like, hey, gold star. You got all the checkbox on day 16. No, we're not going to do that. And I love seeing that people are enjoying writing it down. um, we were both not big writers of things, but I can do this. like I said, I've been doing it every day.
every day.
Every day I'm doing it. So
Oh,
it's not hard for me for someone who doesn't like to track. So and it's also reinforcing. I'm not forgetting my vitamins. I got on Shape'a. I have to do it still today, but it's on my list. I haven't crossed it off yet. It's on my list. But I have to go on Shape'a today. I take my vitamins every day. Even last night, I forgotten by the end of the day, and I was, oh crap, I forgot my vitamins. And I was like, okay, take them. Like, it's still not ironed in. It's still not a habit for me, even after 2 weeks, even after trying to do this for years. But I'm using this to try to relearn those habits or try to create habits out of this. And that's what we're trying to do with all of you right now. It's not about getting it perfect. It's about remembering that you want to do this. So by the time your 6 weeks is done, you'll want to say, hey, that one commitment that I love, I want to kickstand it like Jean-Luc has cleverly created, the kickstand, and I'm going to park it here. And I'm going to try to work on this one and keep this one going because I struggled with this one for the last 6 weeks. You know, the having my water every day, just an example. I know others are struggling with water, but say that's one that you like, I got that one down pat. That one's like a habit now. But say that, you know, brushing my teeth carefully every morning is the one I have issues with, or flossing or something. I don't know. Just throwing something out there. Maybe that's what like I'm gonna keep working on that one because that's the one I need to work on a bit more. It's not about being perfect. It's about learning these habits and creating something out of them eventually in time. And by writing it every day, you're almost training yourself a reminder every day because every day you're now saying, what's number one? What's number two?
and recognizing that you can look at these commitments and approach them differently every single day, but still get the same result, right? There's multiple ways of achieving your commitment. And sometimes you're going to have to try to achieve it in different ways. So one way it might be you might struggle for the first little bit with it, but then you're going to find what works for you and you're going to be able to make sure that this commitment sticks for you. Never give up on yourself. That's another thing too, right? Never give up. We actually I feel because of the 10 commitments that I want to prove myself that when he feels better because a lot of things that he's not doing I'm not doing. We live in the same household, we do a lot of the same things together. And I know it's not an excuse, but I still went out for my 4 days of walking. The hardest part was meals. Meals was a hard part because I was no longer cooking for him. And if I have to cook for both of us, it's easy for me to make sure we're eating our three because he reminds me. But when I'm alone, I'm like busy doing other stuff. I'm trying to make sure he's feeling okay. I'm my
I just sit here
routines.
and I go, breakfast, honey, breakfast, please. And he's like, all right, breakfast. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Like, if I'm sick and sleeping all day, I can't raise my hand and ask for breakfast.
So yes, I am Cinderfella with Nick. I am his Cinderfella, and he is my wicked stepfather. I'm just joking. He's
I was
not.
supposed to be the son, I thought. I thought you said it was no.
No, no. I've changed that now. I've changed that now.
So my next question for everybody. So these sessions are going to be a lot about questions. We're going to ask you questions because this we said, like we sent an email this morning. This Sunday chat is about kind of discussing you guys' commitments and how you guys are doing with them. So we're always going to throw you some questions. So here's the question I have for you. What commitment are you surprised by?
Mhm.
Either you're surprised by A, I didn't think I would be really good at getting this one done. I thought I was going to fail at it constantly, but I'm getting it every single day. B, it could be, I thought this one would be easy, and actually I'm having a hard time with that one. And the other ones I thought would be hard or easy. Or it could be, wow, I can't believe I'm doing all 10. Or wow, I can't believe I got 5 done. What are you surprised about so far about what you've been doing with your commitments? Because I'll say mine. Mine is that even though I'm sick, and today I wanted chips. At one point, he said, you hungry? And I said, uh-huh. And he said, you want me to make pasta? I was like, uh-huh. But really what I wanted was chips and cheese.
It
And
wasn't
one of my
pasta,
commitments,
it was popcorn.
no, it was pasta for dinner. When you asked me that one
You
time,
wanted crackers, and I
yeah,
said, I'll make popcorn
yes.
because
And
I
then I
was
wanted
not going down to get crackers. I was not.
but you know what? I stopped myself because I remembered one of my commitments is no cheese as a snack. So I said, no, don't say it. So I'm shocked that because I'm writing down some of these commitments, it's making me think about them even when I'm sick. Because normally when Nick gets sick, everything goes out the window. I just eat whatever I want. I don't care. I just give me all the cheese possible because it makes me feel good. So I want to read some of your surprises.
Ooh, I love this.
Um,
Leslie says, I'm surprised at how sedentary my life had become when I'm a very active person normally. Funny how you get a different perspective on things when you have to do something, right? And it's not a have to, that you get to do something. Please remember that all of these things, we are lucky because we get to do them. No one is telling you what to put on your commitments. You pick them yourself. So this is something that you get to do. You don't have to do it. You get to do it, and you should want to do it because you get to do it.
So we have surprise drinking 1 liter of plus water daily, and it's hard not to do getting to bed by midnight. Okay, so that's a hard one for Charlotte's Heather's. So for Donna, she's surprised I only step on a scale once a week instead of daily. That's
That's awesome.
awesome. That's
That's amazing.
Want to
Um,
read Joyce's?
yeah, Joyce said, I found because I am tracking, I am doing my knee exercises daily, and I'm taking my pills every at around the same time every day, which is again fantastic. How funny how things become consistent when we make them consistent, right? We have to make it happen though. It's not going to happen if we don't put the work behind it.
I love
Um,
Jerry's. She says no social media after 9 is. I think that she's saying that she's surprised that that's easy for her. So that's a good one as well. And then Lorna says she's surprised at how easy it is to not drink alcohol. She's fine. I'm allowing myself some wine at Thanksgiving, but I don't feel deprived these days. That's an amazing one. I love that.
yeah. Nicole saying that she's surprised that just putting lotion on can be very difficult when you're having to do it on doing it yourself. But you know what? It's so true, right? You don't sometimes realize these things, but the more you do it, the easier it will get. Rosemary said,
Rosemary.
it says, I'm
I love
surprised
that one.
I've been doing this for 14 days and not quitting. That's awesome. That is fabulous.
That's a props up there to that one for
That's
sure.
fabulous. You know what? That you haven't quit. And again, I want everybody who's here tonight to see that, look at you all, even if you haven't been focused 100% on all your commitments, you're still showing up for yourself. And because those 10 commitments that we asked you not to drastically, completely change, but to alter, make, improve for yourself, you're still doing it and you're still thinking about it. So praise to all of you for that. That's awesome.
Donna says it's hard to limit chocolate once a week. I,
Mhm.
I I couldn't relate if it was cheese. That's why I had to say no to all. That's why there's none in this house. So that's how I had to do it. But of
Except for in
course,
meals.
yeah. So except for in meals. So you know what? Then good. It's good to realize that it's a difficult thing to do, but you're still trying your best and it's still top of mind because it's one of your commitments. So it's
Mhm.
great that you brought that up. Marie says, I go with that one, hun.
I was just saying, Marie says, I'm surprised that I'm not snacking at night. Many temptations, but I go to work on a puzzle or I read instead, which is awesome. Again, remember our 5 Ds? Do you guys remember the 5 Ds to avoid snacking? Distract, deep breath, drink water, delay, and discuss. So it doesn't matter in what order you do it, just do it in one of those orders, right? Like find the order that works for you. So those 5 Ds are great. The fact that she's doing a puzzle, so she's distracting herself, reading, doing something else, which is awesome.
Narda said that she thought doing step classes daily would be easy for her, but she struggled fitting it in with all the other activities that she's already doing. And that's what we said to be a member, do something realistic for yourself. So if you're already doing a lot of activity, maybe create your commitment being more of I'm going to commit to doing 30 minutes of activity every day. It could be either step or the gym or whatever it is, but maybe tweak it that way so you're not adding on to something and you're just firming an existing commitment to make sure you're doing it every single day.
That's why when I committed to adding extra activity to myself, I was realistic by saying, I'm not doing something 7 days a week. I'm already working out by doing 2 step classes Monday through Thursday, a one on Fridays, one on Saturdays, one on Sundays. Okay, there are some days that we have weekends off, but I'm still committed to those days on a regular basis if there's nothing happening. And so by adding 4 extra activities, my 4 extra activities, movement, are as simple as just walking. So I can do that. I know I can fit in 30 minutes of walking. Sometimes it's my walk to work and back, but it's still my walk. That's my extra activity that I would have been doing if I wouldn't have thought of it. So you want to get to Barb's?
Yeah, Barb says she's surprised how much achieving full check marks affects her. Perfectionists, I understand that. One of her commitments to do step 3 times a week, but she injured her knee, so she's only done one, and that's left her with a blank check mark. However, she's worked extra hard at activity that she can still do, so she's still achieving something. And that's the thing. It's not.
Exactly.
That's all that matters because you're still being active. It's not what a lot of people think like, oh my God, if I don't get these commitments, I'm doing so bad. But the fact that you're saying, oh my God, I'm not getting my commitment, but I'm going to do this instead, you're already doing something more than you would do anyway, anyways. That's the reason. That's
Exactly.
why.
You're finding a workaround. You're not completely giving up or throwing in the towel. You're making up, you're creating a different path to still see some type of change. I like how Melanie said this too. She goes, I thought doing something for myself 2 to 3 times a week would be difficult, as I always do things for others first. But I'm loving that I'm doing stuff for me, and I'm going to continue doing that. Amen to that, Melanie. That is beautiful. I love that it took you 2 weeks to finally figure out that you are just as important as anybody else in your life. And if you don't put yourself first, it's very hard for others to put you first. I know that sounds weird, but it's true, right? When people start seeing you doing things for yourself, they start noticing you a little bit differently too.
Angela said her step count, but the commitments, it's making her compete with herself each day to
Love
reach her
that.
goal. And so she's so glad because she didn't think she would be able to reach it even on those sick days. So that's an amazing feat. And I've seen a few people have step counts as one of their commitments. And I love seeing that. You know why? Because walking is one of the best ways to just be active. The
Yuppers.
easiest free ways to get activity. And the fact that you're doing that as a commitment will lead you to a nice I froze there. Did
Yeah,
I
you're
froze somebody?
completely frozen. You're completely
I don't know.
frozen. You have a beautiful face, honey. Beautiful bone structure. So,
I'm back.
Allison then says, besides walking her dog in the morning, she's been getting up 20 minutes. Uh, she's been getting a 20-minute walk at work, at least, and then 5 minutes of stretching, and then dashing to work and getting up at 5:30. So the fact that she's getting up earlier, she's walking her dog, she's doing all these additional things, it's helping her out. And isn't it strange how just the check box, when you are checking your box, I'm hoping when you're checking your commitment boxes that you're doing it with, you know what? Like, make yourself feel good about the ones that you accomplished, and the ones that maybe you haven't focused on as much. Don't let yourself feel bad about them. That's not what we want you to do. We want you to say, okay, I struggled with this, but that's okay. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to try to make it work for me. That's the mindset that you need to keep when you're talking about the commitments that you're struggling with.
Linda said she's surprised she's not eating after dinner every day, so no nighttime snacking, and not drinking alcohol even when she's attended social events, just like Rustic Mama this weekend. Yes,
Yes, we saw some pictures.
yeah, we get some insider information sent to us, even though we're not there. We get pictures sent to us because we're in the groups now with the Rustic Mama crew. So yeah, I hope you guys had fun, and that's a great. And I love that that's a surprise because what's funny is that that's one of the things that's one of the hardest things is cutting down on alcohol. I totally agree with that, especially when you're doing events, you're going to see other people. If you're a person who enjoys having a cocktail here and there, it's definitely a good job for you on achieving that and seeing that it's easy for
And
you.
and I know it sounds funny because, like, I'm gonna say this because I know Linda a little bit. It's not like Linda seems to be someone who needs alcohol to have fun. But when other people are around and everybody's drinking socially, it's a harder thing to abstain from it. And I actually have a little fun, a story that I want to tell real quick, and it's kind of having to do with that. A friend of mine who lives in the U.S., her daughter has celiacs and was very sick as a child, was in the hospital almost like close to death. Finally figured out celiac, gluten free, and I mean to the point where if she has any gluten or cross contamination, it could kill her. It like she gets deathly ill. So it was homecoming for her this weekend, and they had a huge dinner, and there's a lot of last minute changes in the plans. And her daughter is very okay with her celiac. She has no issue bringing dinner with herself, bringing her own food, even when she goes out to restaurants. She was going out with a bunch of people, and someone at the table had made some comments, and she kind of felt bad about it. But it's so funny how we are all the same way when we have to sometimes, not drink because other, and then trying to explain this, right? And there should be no shame, is what I'm trying to say, is we should have no shame in explaining what we're doing because it's for our own good and our own benefit. And what other people think is their opinion. It doesn't matter. So don't let anyone shame you. And I was just saying this to my friend. I'm like, I was sending her a message saying,
It's like,
pardon me. It was such a great thing to see that even no matter where you are on any type of journey, if it's a sickness that you have, if it's a wellness journey that you're on, talking about it and not being afraid to say something is really important because that makes you proud and makes you able to continue on your journey. So
Nisha said that it was hard for her to do decluttering 15 to 25 minutes every day, but she's surprised that she did one pop a day for 8 days. A couple days challenging, but back at it since yesterday. So that's awesome. And I know that's something that we've still been able to say Coke Zero free for 14 days. So that's
yep.
one check. Um, so good job on that, Nisha. Keep going. Stacy said, surprised that it had no chocolate. One small chocolate chip fell out of my cupboard and I threw it in the recycle bin. It almost automatically ended in my mouth. This is a big for me. That's amazing. It's almost I totally get that because I have the thing with cheese is like, there's sliced cheese in the fridge. I could easily just grab a slice of cheese and just put it in a cubes form and swallow it. And like just like a chocolate chip, right? No fault. And like it's kind of the same. It's not something you should, eat on its own, but it's there. So when you have that want but I haven't done it. And the fact that you haven't done it either with your chocolate, and they're saying it's a big deal. I love that you celebrate that, and if you're surprised that it's been this easy, and that's I think a big reason why we made this 42 days, is to make it feel achievable. Because if I told you you're not going to eat chocolate for 3 months, some of you might say, screw that, and then say, I ain't doing that. We did it 42 days because we're hoping to make you realize that, hey, you can do it. And then after you do, you might say, hey,
We didn't
maybe I
make
can keep going.
we didn't make anybody do it. You made
No,
yourself do
no.
it.
But
You But I'm just saying they made their own. So they are the ones that decided that that's what they wanted to do. We did not make you do anything.
I know, hun, but I'm saying we set the 42-day time limit because
Yes,
we
we
know
said,
that doing things longer than 42
mhm.
days, I'm not saying that, I'm saying any commitment, anything you're trying to create something, if you set yourself, if I were to tell you you can't do something for a year, right? If I tell you right now for the next year, you can't listen to music for a year, okay? Starting tomorrow, you can't for a year. I think that's daunting if you think of that. That's like, oh my God, 365 days, but I've told you 42 days. Can do that. I can do 42 days, I think. And that's why we created this length instead of making it longer, is so that you can feel like you can do it. So you can, get the excitement of doing it, get that first few weeks of getting the excitement of getting it done, and then hopefully lasting the last 3 weeks, so then you're almost there. Think of it, next week at this time, you're halfway through. You already have 3 weeks done. Commitments done for 3 weeks. You're already halfway there. It's like almost like you're just already at the top of the hill. You might as well keep going to the other side of the hill. You might as well finish it, right? At that point.
Yeah. And Stacy also said she skipped her walk for the last 2 days, but she did major yard work. So in my mind, you did not skip any walk. Walking in your yard counts just as much as walking down the street. So that I would just say, I did major walking in my yard for the last 2 days. I did not skip my walk. And Jen said she wanted to read more. So she said to herself, I have to read twice a week. And now she actually carves out time every day to read in a quiet classroom, and it gives her time to like reset her day. I love that. Again, who is the priority in all of that? Her. She's made herself the number one priority.
Barb said, I've committed to learning lyrics to 3 songs prior to going to an upcoming concert. A little harder than I thought. Need to sharpen the memory skills. Me too right now. I can't
So are
remember
you
everything.
singing at this concert, Barbara? You're going to a concert and want to sing along with the artist. That's what I'm curious now. We'll have to talk. um,
Diane says,
oh, I was letting you.
I
You
was
started, so go for it.
Diane says, I'm happy with it. The only time I haven't completed my commitments is because I've been spending quality time with loved ones. I love that because family comes first, especially family. Family does more to your heart than a commitment on a checkbox list. So I totally agree. Well, except it depends who your family is sometimes. So, I'll let you figure out that one on your own.
On the Nicole is saying on the odd occasion someone has said something and I just ignore the comment or say this is my decision, and then I can do it or not do it if I don't want to. Like it's my decision, and I love that. We need to speak our not. I think we need to speak our truth by letting people go. You know what? This is making me happy right now, and that's all that matters.
As Lynn said, set would be boring without music. Yes, we'd go, we'd go like do 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 side tap, do side tap. I misstep right now. I was such on
Yeah,
a roll. I was doing so well, but I can't get down on that. I'm sick. I can't force myself to do stuff. Hey, a walk was tough today. It was by 10 minutes in, I was like, can we go back? It was really tough today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the chat tonight. We just wanted you guys to think of how you're doing your commitments, realize how far you've come already in 2 weeks, realize the steps you've already taken, and even if you can't get every box every day, you're at least thinking about it. And that's what's most important about this whole process.
that's the most important about the process is the fact that you're thinking about stuff and you're thinking about it over and over and over again. The repetitiveness of repeating these commitments in your head are creating new neuro pathways. We've talked about neuroplasticity, and this is exactly what we're doing by repeating these things over and over and over to ourselves, and actually doing them from time to time. So don't stop doing what you're doing. You guys are all on an amazing path, and every single day, be proud of what you accomplish, no matter how small it is or how big it is. Be proud.
On that note, we will end the live feed and we'll stay behind for anybody who has questions that are in the Zoom room. So goodbye, live feed. We'll see you later.
So